Weekly Creative Update.
Welcome to the show, another week in the books. Your favorite YouTuber is back. I'm here and you are there, let's go, 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 go. Carl makes Sundays great again.
Hello, and welcome to the Weekly Creative Update. Welcome to the show. It's another Sunday, another week has gone by, and we're finally here again. So lovely to see you all here clicking in on the video today to have a little update from me. My name is Carl, I'm an artist. And here on YouTube, I share my artistic journey, what I have been into the last week. I'm documenting. I'm doing this Sunday session. I'm clicking on the camera, just recording one file, one long recording with no interruptions, no editing. I want to keep it real. This is me trying to pursue being in the moment, being turned on. When I put on the camera, I know there's nothing is going to change. It's just going to be me with you guys here, and I'm just going to be talking, reflecting, talking about art, talking about the things that I love. And what do I actually work with? I work with a lot of different things. I call myself a floating artist. That's something that I've been talking about lately here on the show, about this floating artist concept, and it's about me not want to be put in a little box. You're a visual artist, you are a graphic designer, you are an installation artist, you're a furniture maker, you are a carpenter, you are a textile designer, and so on and so on and so on. I want to do what I feel like, so that's why I'm calling myself a floating artist, floating in between the mediums, doing what I feel like. And yeah, so let's get into it. What have I actually been working on the last week? The last week, as you know, if you have been following along for a little while, I have some new subscribers. Well, welcome to you. And for you guys who has been following along, you know that I've been working on this tower project where I'm gonna build 2 towers. Every tower consisting of 5 boxes stacked on top of each other. Sliding some pictures here of the recent boxes, because these boxes I want to explore. I've been into the theme of reliefs and relief pieces, and I'm just seeing these 2 towers as an experimentation, as a way of me to try different things out, because I want to move forward in my artistic practice, and I want to involve more, for example, textile and metal and some ceramics. So I'm trying to incorporate that into the works here in these towers. And this towering project take its origin from a trip to Bologna. I had a town in Italy that used to have a lot of towers there in the medieval times, but now there's only a few left. Went there, documented it. It was this kind of a study field trip, and now I'm developing it further on into a project, which is fun. I've got some grants on that, and I got actually a new grant this week. The grants are just rolling and flying. If you're applying, you will receive some grants. So that is fun. But the towering project is going on. We're doing the boxes. I have currently 3.5 boxes left, I think, and then I will start to paint them more and try to connect them together. But it's fun. It's fun. I'm doing it, and it's cool. Now I'm taking up my phone here because I need to check out what the next thing is going to be on the list here. I wrote some things down. Yeah, there's a little exhibition coming up in Stockholm. I told you the last week. I have some more things on that now. It's going to be a little group exhibition with me and 7 other artists, and we're going to do an interpretation of these little shelves. Look at these small little guys. I don't know exactly what they are called. But we're gonna do some interpretation of this. This is sort of not a holy, but this is something you had in your home, and it's a little shelf, and it's back in the old days when you were a farmer, for example, lived out you maybe couldn't afford that many books, so you had the religious text, for example, maybe a Bible and a little some sort of other religious books on this shelf, and those were sort of like holy, and that's because the little shelf is so decorative, and it's the place for your books. And the theme is gonna be to do some sort of this little shelf interpretation. And I'm thinking about, because the books that are holy to me, or I find it's my notebook that I'm using every day. I have one notebook for just regular use, and I have one sketchbook. Let's call them a sketchbook. I have a sketchbook. I have two sketchbooks going on all of the time, because I have one just that I carry around every day, all around sketchbook, and I have one nightly sketchbook that are lying on my bedside table because I sketch for maybe 5 to 10 minutes every day before I go to bed. I find that is nice. And then I also have the little. I've been bad on this. I have been journaling quite a lot this year, getting into that practice, but I haven't been doing it so frequently now lately here. I've been getting out of that rhythm, so this little shelf is maybe going to be for my sketchbook and for my journaling book, my diary, and maybe some pencils. We'll see. But that's a fun little news. That's going to be in February, March, kind of there. And the first towering project that I talked about is going to be a vernissage at the 17th of January here in Malmö, Sweden, where I live. And the next thing is that there is a show here in Sweden that is called Cyklopernas Land, and that is a little talk show. Some guys are sitting and talking about this sort of this culture program. They're talking about popular cultures and stuff like that. What's going on in the scene, so to speak, and it's kind of fun. It's a humorous touch to it. So I actually wait a second. I actually made some things, and you can see what I made here because I put them up here. I made some things for that show. That show is gonna have a little I don't know how to call it actually in English, but like a late night show. Uppesittarkväll, what is it called, like sitting up late before the Christmas Eve night. Then I built some things. Their studio looks like this, and so I took some inspiration from that, and I built little candle holder stand for it, and a little note sitting here with my name. And then I made 3 pieces that they can put, because they asked to. The host of the show asked to send in some decoration for the Christmas tree. So I made some decorations here for the Christmas tree. Those 3 kind of guys. And I thought they were fun. This is sort of a pear shape. And this is more of an apple or a butt. The viewer is allowed to interpret as they want. But here on the note, maybe you cannot see it because the camera is blurry. Carl Fredrik Emmerich. Sweden. I wrote it in Swedish, but it says Sweden's hardest working artist. The hardest working artist in Sweden, Sveriges hårdast arbetande konstnär. And that was really fun, because I don't really see myself as that, but I think it's a fun way, because working hard in other people's mind, it's that you're ambitious, that you are it's a positive thing in other people's mind. So I think about like promoting myself as the hardest working artist, the Sweden's hardest working artist, or the world's hardest working artist, and eventually that will be stuck in people's mind, and then the people will ask you why you everyone is saying that you're the hardest working artist, and I'm like, yeah, but I see it. You have to have a balance, because you cannot overwork. You have to. When you work, you work, and when you rest, you rest. So I don't see myself as the hardest working artist, or I have no aspirations to be that. But I think it's fun to promote myself as that, because in other people's eyes, in the normies' eyes, in the everyday kind of human out on the street, all of the NPCs out there, they think that hardworking means good. Hardworking equals good, and so I have to play on that. I have to play my cards right. So I think it's fun to say that I'm the hardest working artist in the world, or in Sweden, or whatever, to promote myself at that. So we'll see. This is the first try, but have been making those kind of things. We'll send that in. We'll see if there will be national television. Then I will take some pictures and screenshots and everything like that. But that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice. And for the last thing that I have been working on this week is I want to meet the king. And to meet the king as an artist, I can do that through winning a competition that is called the Thinking Hand, and where you have to send in 5 of your drawings, and then they will pick out 10 people, nominees, and then 3 people will win this drawing competition. So yesterday I bought some big papers, 100 centimeters times 70 centimeters, 5 of those, or 4 of those, 1 of those are cut in the middle. So I have 5 pieces for large drawing. I started on one yesterday, and I will make 5 drawings, and this is a hand in in the middle of January. So I have a month to do these 5 drawings, and I want to do 5 new drawings, and I want to produce, and I want to put myself out there and try new things, because I have been talking about how I want to get in more to drawing in the medium and how I can develop that further. And this is a great practice for me to do this, and I can maybe meet the king and shake his hand. So we'll see if that is going to happen, but I will at least do this drawing competition. That is what I have been working on. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is, it's not even a question, it's self-promotion. Self-promotion is important as an artist, especially as an artist in the beginning of their career, as I am, especially for me. For me, it's important to do a bit of self-promotion. I'm doing it here on YouTube. Guys, did you even know that I have a YouTube channel? Yeah, everyone knows that I have a YouTube channel. Oh, dummy Carl. No, that wasn't what I was supposed to say. Did you even know that I have a newsletter? I have a newsletter called Monthly Creative Update. It's sort of like this show, but it's more compact, and it's some other things I talk about in there, and it's only come out one time a month, of course. And I do a little giveaway. I do some fun writing, so go check that out. The link is down below. But for the big and new thing in the self-promotion world is that I created a course, Creative Call with Carl and Company. It's a little course. We're having a little session. There's 4 people plus me, so 5 people in the call. We're sitting and talking about art. We're sitting and talking about how to develop as an artist. And this is a new thing. I will start it up in January. There is some spots remaining. Go and sign up. Link is also down in below. Every information is there. And I think this could be a great course. It could be a fun creative call with Carl and Company. So let's do that, guys. If you want to, if you feel inspired, if you want to get into the call, check the link down below. Self-promotion is important, but guys, I don't want to bother you anymore. I don't want to bother you with self-promotion. Maybe you think this is bull. So let's move on to the weekly question. This is a fun one. This is from Porta Papi 3292, and he's saying this: haha, you're awesome. Thank you. Be careful around the bandsaw with your wispy little Pandawan tail you got going on there. Yeah. I will be careful. I will have to put it up behind my back. But to the question here, want to give us some insights into how to go about applying for grants. Okay. Want to give some insight about going about applying for grants. Applying for grants, that's a hard one. That is a hard one. And I started doing this for maybe for a year, since I've been an artist now, or a full-time artist since I graduated school, and it's been 2 years and 3 months. So 2 years and 3 months, and I started only like a little more than 1 year ago. I went 1 year without really applying for anything because I didn't really know how it worked, and then I started to apply for things. I'm applying almost every day. I have this rule: if there is anything to apply for, I will apply for it. I am a subscriber of a newsletter. I pay a certain amount of money. I think it's $30 a year, And then I'm receiving this newsletter from a Swedish site called konstpool.se, and from there I receive a lot of things that you can apply for. So I started to apply for a lot of things there, and last month I actually applied for like 30 grants, and that was almost one every day, or if it was 29. But so that's a good thing. Subscribing to a newsletter where they send out these kind of recommendations or what you can apply for in your region and stuff like that. And I'm also having this. I'm using a thing called Notion. I'm not sponsored, but that's like a note-taking app, Second Brain app, and I find it really useful. And there I have like a scholarship grant kind of tab, and on that tab I have. I'm just writing. When I have applied for things, I write it down in the list so I can apply for it again next year. So I have this list of must apply for grants that is coming up every year. And another thing is like the newsletter I subscribe for is maybe for open calls and stuff like that. So that might be a one-time thing, and then I don't apply to the list. But if it is an ongoing yearly thing, I'm applying it to the list. So just checking there, have the dates, have the everything. So it's really great to set up sort of those kind of Second Brain apps, and there I have like my artist statement, and I have some different applications, written text about certain projects that I can apply with. So I'm trying to make it easy, also using ChatGPT a lot to just taking the original text and maybe tweak it a bit to a new to a new application, and like trying to make it as easy as possible for myself to apply. So I have maybe 3 or 4 texts for different projects ready, and then I can just tweak it a bit and getting some help from my friend GPT. So that is nice. And also on Instagram, there's coming up on the recommended feed, and you see a lot of open calls for me at least. There are in my algorithmic systems of choice. There is, you cannot really choose it, but it's getting there. So some there, and just keeping my eyes open and talking to people and see what there is apply for. There's a lot of ways to do it, but that is hopefully that answered the questions in some sort of way. But going about it, don't expect anything. Send in an application and then forget about it. Totally forget about it, and don't put any value into it, and don't have any expectation of getting it, because then you will only get disappointed. I did it in the beginning. And I just getting no. I maybe get like 2-3% yes, but that is enough to keep me going. And I'm only living like on grants right now, and I think that I might be able to live off of these grants that I've got maybe until April, May or something, and then the money's gonna run out. But hopefully there's something will happen there, but just do it and forget about it, and maybe you will get something one day. But now let's move on to the last segment of the show. The wise words. What is the wise words? Awake people's curiosity. I think my assignment, I've been writing a lot, and I've been thinking about what do I want to do as an artist? What is my main purpose as an artist? And what is like, because there's a lot of things, because I'm coming from an architectural background, and then there wasn't really talk about having this artistic statement and having this view on yourself as an artist or a creator. Then it was more of like project based, and now I think there is a lot of more you have to think about what you want to achieve with your own art. And I've been thinking a lot about this and reflecting and going back and forward, but I think I figured it out, that my goal as an artist is to awaken people's curiosity, because I think to be curious is it's a nice way of living. It's how I think that's how we are all supposed to be, because if we're not curious, we're not gonna experience anything new, and if we are not gonna experience anything new, then we know exactly what our life is gonna look like, and that won't be funny. So I think you have to be curious as a human being to move the world in a direction forward, to make it a better place. And I think curiosity isn't really taught out in school in some sort of way, because they make learning boring, sort of, or at least I find that, and I think there's a lot of people resonating with me that school make curiosity and learning boring and puts it in a bad vibe and in a bad perspective about this curiosity thing. And I think we like when we are kids, we are really curious. We're really curious, and then some sort of the way that just stops. That just stops completely, and that is weird. And we sort of don't really learn this thing. We don't learn people how to be curious and how to be interested in learning new things. And I talk about that to try new things all of the time. But this connects with the curiosity thing. So in my works, I want to make people curious. I want to make people should start asking questions. What is this and stuff going up to the works and look at them and try and I want to awake their curiosities with the works in some sort of way, because if you're curious, you will feel better as a person, and when you will feel better as a person, you will treat other persons better, and eventually the world will get better. My goal is to make the world a better place, but to make the world a better place, you have to awaken people's curiosity, because we aren't taught that. We are losing that. We're losing our curiosities as we get older. I think we need to teach that in some sort of way, and I'm trying to teach that or show that in my work in some sort of way, if that makes any sense. But I know it's an abstract thing to talk about, but I want to awaken people's curiosity. I want to make people curious. And I think that's my main motivator. That's my main goal. And in that way, I make the world a better place. To just try to be curious and do that. I think that is really, really important. I'm trying to do that, at least. You can also do that if you want. If you feel inspired by me, do that. Make people curious. I'm trying to do that, and we'll see where it leads. But guys, look at my hat. I had been having a show. This is just a little outro segment here. I've been having, I had for a while, I had the different hats every month, but I stopped with that. But this is the hat, or this is the thing on my head that I'm gonna wear for this winter season, and it's actually made from my girlfriend Olivia Craft. She has an Instagram. Check her out because she's making cool things. But I just wanted to show you off my hat, because I think that's a little lovely wintry hat that went well together with my red tie today. So that's why I wanted to say that, just out on my little with a little hat splaining, or I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say anymore, because I've been talking on for so long. But hopefully you liked the episode. Hopefully you liked the show, and guys, hopefully we'll see each other again. If you want to turn in, I am noticing that the viewer is going down. I don't even know why. Maybe people aren't thinking this guy is fun to watch. But maybe it's just the algorithmic feed that is not putting out the good stuff out in front of the people. They are loving the art. They are loving the art world and loving the art talk, and just wanting to hear some random guy in Sweden rambling on about his art practice. Or maybe some of you think it's funny. We'll see. Now I'm gonna stop talking, because I'm talking nonsense. Thank you very much for me. I will put out the intro. I will do a little song, and I'll see you in the next video.
This is an outro. I love you all. See you in the next one.